I'm going to publish on all these at the same time. What's your lowest? You can't make this up. They came back and offered $150 for the whole build. How hard is it to sell a gaming computer? No, seriously, I'm genuinely asking because if I'm going to be honest, I'm not really sure. And the reason for that is because I don't really sell computers, to strangers anyways. Being the PC guy for my friends and family means that whenever I need to offload a PC, I can usually find someone I already know or someone who knows someone I already know to buy it from me. Now, I totally acknowledge that I'm in a position of privilege when it comes to selling computers whenever I need to because I have a large network of people in real life that I can look to whenever I need to move something. But that's not the case for a lot of people out there though. I've actually heard plenty of times from my own viewers and people in the community that when they're looking to sell their PCs, you know, usually when they build a freshly new one that they want to sell their old one off to like recoup or make back some of the money, it's been difficult, especially in their local markets because they have to deal with annoying buyers. People constantly lowballing them or showing interest at first and then all of a sudden they just stop messaging back and ghost them. Or people are just trying to offer them weird trades like their go-karts and BMX bikes. This is all too common of a story that you hear about. There are people out there who just want to sell their PCs for a fair price with as little hassle as possible. Is that too much to ask? Well, that's where the sponsor of this video comes in. Jawa, a marketplace created for gamers by gamers. You'll find everything here from consoles to laptops to peripherals, PC components, but by far the largest category they have is fully assembled gaming PCs. So Jawa wanted to sponsor a video and asked me if I had any ideas, and I said, sure, how about we put your platform to the test? So in this video, I'm going to list this PC on both Jawa and in my local market. I'm going to be doing this completely anonymously, so I'm not going to be attaching my own channel name or my name on any of the platforms. So this is as if I'm selling it as a regular person who just wants to offload their old PC. I have no idea where this is going to sell. As of right now, me recording this, I am as much in the dark as to you all are watching this where this will sell. So yeah, let's do it and see what happens. First though, I gotta take some pictures of this build to get it ready to post. So let's go do that. All right, we're up in my dining room now and I chose this location to shoot the photos because I have a nice big plain blank wall back there for the backdrop. People shouldn't be able to link this build to me. This build is also completely unique to this video. So this build has never been seen on the channel before. There should be zero way for anyone to be able to identify it. But yeah, I'm just gonna be using my phone to take the photos. Alright, I got the photos taken, now we're back down in the studio. Before I get the ad made and get this listed, let me tell you about the specs in it because I have not gone over it yet. It's got a Ryzen 5 5600 in it, so AM4, B450 motherboard. The graphics card's an RX 6600. I'll have the full specs shown on the screen, but that's what we're working with. The total comes into about $435 worth of parts in terms of used value. Now, when it comes to listing a build, depending on what your situation is, you know, some people are flipping to make profit. Some people they built a new system, they're just trying to sell their old PC for what it's worth. They might not value like a build fee because they have fun building PCs anyways. So between like free and like $100, I chose kind of right in the middle. I added like a $50 build fee to it. So Facebook Marketplace and Offerup, you just can take cash and you just keep all the money. Now I have this other row down here on the spreadsheet. This is going to be for Jawa because Jawa has a payment processing fee of 3% as well as a platform fee of 9%, you know, for them to be able to pay their employees, keep their website up, keep the lights on, things like that. So what I've done is I've taken this 485 and I've divided it by 0.88, which means I need to list it on Jawa for $550. So after they take the 12% fee, I will get the equivalent of $485. That's how I'm going to do this to keep it equal. I just wanted to explain that so that people don't think like I'm trying to rig the system to, you know, benefit one platform over the other. But let's get this listed. I'm going to start with Jawa and then we're going to copy and paste it over to the other two platforms. We're on Jawa and I'm going to use a fresh account. So I do have a Nerd on a Budget account, but obviously people are going to know it's me. So I'm going to use one and make a quick profile that is, you know, not going to be traced back to me. I just get a generic name assigned to me and I have pretty much a blank slate here. So let me quickly make it seem like I'm an actual person and not just some random bot account. Northwest Builds. All right, we've got that there. Now let's take a look at what we're working with. So, all right, you could obviously do way more if you're trying to make a storefront to get into PC selling, then you could put more of a profile, but for the most part, I just didn't want my profile to look completely blank. So now we can get started selling by clicking this up here. We will go and start filling this out. So category is gaming PCs. We're just going to be very blunt about it. I usually don't give my PCs names. I just like getting straight to the specs. Gaming PC. If I had to pick any of these colors, which one? I kind of like this kind of baby bluish one. Purple, yellow actually might be a little bit. I think we're gonna go with the sky blue. So now we get into the description. So this is going to be used in good condition. I have stress tested this and everything, so there shouldn't be any problems with it. I'd say 3 years. Let me get this typed up and then we'll go over it. Alright, I think we're going to keep it pretty nice and short. I'll read that in a second. Product video. Let me go to YouTube and actually find a good benchmarking video that people can reference. Now, this one looks pretty good. This is from 2 months ago, so 25 games in 2024. Pretty recent. Got a bunch of different games. We're going to copy this and we're going to put the video URL here. And I'm also going to put it in the description too, just in case. So we're gonna put in the $550, which the payout is estimated to $477. Oh, do I need to put like 560? So 485. Okay, we'll do 560 then. I don't think that's gonna be a big deal. And that comes out to a 485, which when we looked at the spreadsheet, yeah, we're trying to target a 485 list price on Offerup and Facebook Marketplace. So this is fine. We'll put 560. Yeah, definitely get the insurance just in case anything goes wrong. I'm not gonna enable any offers. I'll do the Jawa shipping label so that I don't have to worry about anything. When I use the Jawa shipping label, you know, the buyer's gonna put in their shipping address, and then based on my address, they're going to calculate it automatically, and I will just be sent a label to slap on it and send it out. So we're in the home stretch now. This is the return policies before we can get to publishing it. The buyer protection policy, this is the default one that Jawa gives them. If the item never arrives or is damaged or doesn't match the listing, the buyer can get a refund within 48 hours, which I think is fair, right? I'm good. We are done with the listing now. So I'm actually going to save the draft just because I don't want it to go live yet. This is what someone is going to see when they come across my ad. So here's all the images. You can scroll through all of them. So we've got, you know, all the shots of the different RGB settings as well as the addressable multicolor setting. Pretty nice clean shot of the internals and then a straight on shot. This is a great starter PC for anyone who's looking to get into PC gaming for the first time or are looking to upgrade from really old and outdated hardware. This can play pretty much any modern title thrown at it in 1080p with a handful of esports and indie titles at 1440p. Parts are all in good condition and have been stress tested with OCCT and IDA64 to ensure no problems. This PC has a very good upgrade path because it is on the AM4 platform. Higher performing CPUs and GPUs can easily be swapped into it for increased performance. Benchmarks of equivalent specs can be seen below or at this link. Yeah, with that link that we put in there when we were setting it up, they can just view the benchmarks here, right here on the page. They don't have to go to the YouTube video. I'm not gonna hit publish yet. I want to hit publish on all of them at the same time. So let me go over to Facebook and on Offerup. Oh, I'm gonna have to do it on my phone because Offerup sucks and you can't post stuff with the computer. You have to do it on the phone. So yeah, let me quickly get this. It should be fast. I'm just copying and pasting all this over to the other platforms, but let me do that real quick. All right, I'm good setting up the Offerup listing on my phone. So now I'm going to click publish on all these at the same time. No, I do not want to promote. Everything is listed, so it's now in the hands of the internet. I'll check back in depending on if I get any messages or offers or anything like that. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. So it's been about a day since the listings have gone live and no sale yet, but that's understandable. Can't expect everything to sell instantly. We can, however, look at the numbers though. All of these platforms give insight as to how many people have checked out the listing, and on Jawa, my listing actually is at 169 nice views so far, with 2 saves. On Offerup, we're looking at about 62 views, and the one conversation is the one message, which we'll take a look at in a sec. Over on Facebook, for some reason, it's not letting me go on the Marketplace tab. It seems like all these other, dating works, groups work. So I don't know why Marketplace is not working on the phone, which is pretty annoying, but I'll grab a screen grab from the desktop because it was working over there. It's showing a bit under 50 clicks or views. So Jawa has the most views by quite a bit. Which makes sense. It's one of the benefits of using it, reaching a much larger audience. But not only that, reaching a much larger audience that is specifically looking, for PCs and RPC gamers. But now let's take a look at the messages I've received so far. The person on Offerup hits me with this gem of an opening. What's your lowest? You can't make this up. I swear on my life, this is a real message. This is like textbook lowballing behavior if I've ever seen it. It writes itself. I respond saying, the price is firm as noted by the listing, which I did clearly check when I was making the listing. I hit the firm, so, I don't want any offers. But I get it. This is just the way it is selling on local platforms. Even if you say firm, people are always going to try to lowball or do other stuff. So I totally get it. I've been around for long enough to expect it. I try to gauge how much they're wanting to even pay. So I say, what's your max in case I can't sell and decide to lower the price? What are they even thinking about? What ballpark? And the amount that they were trying to offer must have been so insultingly low that they didn't even want to say it, and they completely tried to change the subject. They instead go to, would you do a trade for something or just cash? Lowballs and trade offers, name a more iconic duo when it comes to trying to sell stuff in your local marketplace. So I entertained them saying, I'm mainly looking for cash, but you can feel free to list what you have to trade on the off chance I am interested in something. I was just trying to see what they were offering. And I'll give them credit that, they didn't just offer me a Supreme t-shirt or Jordans or something like that I would find useless. They actually had an RTX 3060 for trade. So, I'll give them that. They actually had something that's useful and related to PCs. But I just told them I'm not interested in any more graphics cards, unfortunately. So, yeah, they've seen the message and they have not tried to counter back with any cash value or anything at all. So that's probably the end of that. Other message I got was from Facebook Marketplace. This person asked for more details about the PC. They asked, when did you buy it? I don't want to buy too old of a computer. So, I tell them the truth. The parts are 2 to 3 years old. The CPU and graphics cards came out in 2021, 2022. Then they ask, how are you able to sell this for such a good price? Did you buy a new computer? And I'm telling the truth here. I'm not trying to lie or be all weird about it. It's a used PC. If you look up the parts pricing on eBay for everything, that's about what it comes into. I also told them that, just because I want them to be clear to know when you buy a used PC, there's no warranty. I'm not going to give you lifetime tech support or anything like that. I'll let you test the PC and all of that, but you're buying it kind of as is. The person has not messaged back stating interest to meet up and buy the system. So for now, that's that. So far, we've already hit all the things that people have complained to me about when selling in their local market. Lowballing, people trying to trade, and potentially ghosting. I don't know if the Facebook person is just being slow to respond or if they just changed their mind and found something else. That happens all the time. But for now, the waiting game continues. It's been about a day since the last check-in, so let's take a look at the numbers again. The system has not sold yet. On Offerup, it has 87 views right now, and on Facebook, I had to bring it up, it has 96 clicks on the listing, and on Jawa, view count at about 200, the mid 200, 240, 250-ish. So Offerup, I got a response again from the same person. The person left a day in between the last time I told them that I was not interested in the graphics card. They came back and offered $150 for the whole build. In my price estimation, the value of the RX 6600 in the build itself is about $150. This is probably why they didn't want to give me their max price offer when I asked for it initially, but I guess they're just throwing this out of desperation. $150? That is insultingly low. I was civil about it though, and I responded with, sorry, but that is way too low. The graphics card in it alone is worth $150. I am firm on the price, and if I lower it, it will not be that low. I'm pretty much, I think I'm done with this person. There's no way with the offer this low they're actually gonna come back with anything realistic. That is it for this update, and we will see what happens next. Alright, it is the same night. This update is the same night as the last update I just gave not too long ago. The PC did just sell, and it sold on Jawa. Going to my active listings, it is not here anymore. It is under the sold tab. So it ended with 279 views, 5 saves. On the listing right here, it says it is sold out. So no one else can try to buy it. There's the payout, $485, just as we calculated. So let me see. The shipping label is ready to go. Let me click that so I can just view it. I just need to print this from my printer to put onto the box. Someone named Caden from Utah. So the PC is going to them. I will be leaving the Facebook and Offerup listings up because it's not like an instant sale thing. So I'm going to be like the typical person who lists on there where after they sell the item, they forget to take it down, just because I'm curious if I can get to the point with anybody on those apps where the sale goes through, or what other ridiculous lowballs and trades people are going to want to offer. But in the meantime, while, you know, those still sit there and any other interested parties might contact me for it, I'm going to get the stuff ready to get this thing packed. Ideally, you would want to ship this in the original box that this case came in, but for me, unluckily, I did not have the foresight to know that I would eventually be shipping this PC out, and I actually recycled this box a little while back. But if we're trying to make this like a real life scenario, if you're building a new PC and you have the box for the new case, assuming they're similar sized, then you could use that box. So that's what I'm actually gonna do. So this is just a box that I had laying around. If you have no boxes, FedEx, Home Depot, you could probably go dumpster diving, even go ask any like department stores and stuff, do you guys have any boxes that I can have for free? I'm just trying to approach this like a typical person, right? Like a power seller would probably have a whole bunch of extra boxes on hand that they paid for, but they would also factor that into their sale price. I actually did not. So all the shipping materials that I'm going to be using, I kind of have to get creative with, and I've done this before in the past too, and I'm just using free stuff, which the recycling bin is a great resource for free things to help pack your computer. So I went to a recycling bin, and we actually had a bunch of this. This is like the paper stuffing that Amazon usually ships, you know, because Amazon doesn't know how to pick box sizes, and they always ship like the tiniest things in these big boxes with like a bunch of this wrapping. So I dug this out of the recycling bin. We got some new furniture that came with this styrofoam. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. If you watch some of my past videos, I've used like the egg carton, recycled bottles, you name it. All that stuff is compressible and will help with impact. So the main thing we do want to protect in here is going to be the graphics card. Like the RAM's going to be okay, as is the low profile CPU cooler. It's not that heavy and it is very firmly attached. So what I'm going to do is use this foam, and I'm just going to roll it, and I'm going to support it on all sides. Okay, this is what we're working with here. All this foam is folded, but they are bouncing back and springy. Nothing is like overly flexing the graphics card, but it's making decent contact and providing enough cushion to hold it in place, similar to the expanding foam would when placed in here. I'm confident this is gonna hold it in place and get it there with no problems. So I'm gonna get the glass panel on, and when we shut it, it was gonna push everything into place. Because this doesn't have a locking, sliding mechanisms, this one is actually really easy to push back open. Even an expanding foam would push this open. So I'm just gonna secure it with some masking tape. This doesn't leave any residue, and it is very easy to remove. Then I'm gonna use some of this just butcher paper to put on the sides for some extra dampening and cushion. And we are good to go. So got the build in here. Let me show you how confident I am in shaking it. Nothing loose, flinging around, flying around the inside. So this is good to go. If you don't have a printer at home, can you print for free at the library? If not, print at school or university or college or wherever, print at work. All right, we are good to go. So first thing in the morning, I'm gonna go ship this out. Hey, how's it going? Just dropping this off, and then can I get the drop-off receipt, please? All right, thank you very much. Have a good day, man. All right, the PC's been dropped off, and I let the buyer know, and they actually messaged me saying, awesome, I'm really excited. It's my first PC that I bought with my own money. Fantastic specs for the price point. Thank you so much. So I'm really glad to hear that, because for the price I sold that for, I think it is a pretty good system, and I'm glad to hear that it's going to a good home. I did get a message this morning from someone on Facebook Marketplace that was interested. They said, I have a MetaQuest 3 work 550 if you're willing to trade. A new MetaQuest 3, I think the half terabyte model is $499 plus tax here in Washington, brings it to $550. So to be honest, this is a pretty fair trade, given that my system, with the build fee on top of it even, I valued at $485. But again, I'm not interested in doing a trade. So I let them know that, and that's pretty much it though, but not too much interest otherwise. What I'm gonna do is wait for Caden to get the PC, just to make sure, you know, they get it and it didn't get there damaged or anything like that. And in the meantime, I'm gonna leave the Offerup and Facebook Marketplace ads up. People do that all the time, where, you know, they sell something and they forget to take the ad down. So yeah, I'll check back in after the week and we will see. Okay, it's been 1 week since the last check-in, and the buyer, Caden, got the PC. It actually delivered very fast. I dropped it off on Thursday morning last week, and the following Saturday, so only like 2 days later, they confirmed it arrived in good working condition. In that time, since I did leave the listings up on Facebook and Offerup, I did get more messages on the build. On Offerup, that very first person that messaged me with the lowball and then the trade offer, they tried one last attempt saying, would you trade for an Oculus Quest 2, or I guess a Meta Quest 2? I denied, because that is definitely not worth the trade. Also on Offerup, someone asked, would you trade for Xbox Series X and $100? Also denied. And then the last offer message I got was from this person who said, can you do $300? Could you imagine actually getting a system like this for $300? That would be an absolute steal. But sorry, not today. Over on Facebook, I got a lowball offer of $280 in cash right now. As if any of those things made their lowball offer any more attractive. There were 2 people, however, who started their messages with wanting to set up a meetup time. And I'd assume that they were okay with paying my asking price. Like, they didn't open with a lowball offer. They didn't open with like a trade offer. So I'm gonna assume that if I set up a meetup time, they would have just paid my asking price, but I cannot confirm because the PC was already sold on Jawa at that point, and I didn't want to further string them along with setting up a fake meetup time to only cancel on them. So the sale happened the quickest on Jawa, but it looks like it would have also sold on Facebook Marketplace had it been given more time, and Offerup was the worst of the 3. This video has gone on long enough though, so let's wrap it up. The point of this video was not to set out and try to prove that any particular platform is the best and that you shouldn't use anything else. It was really meant to showcase Jawa as a viable option to add to your toolkit when you are looking to buy or sell PC hardware, or other gaming gear. Even though it's the newest platform of the 3, my listing still got more eyes on it compared to Offerup and Facebook, because it is a marketplace that is targeted for a very specific audience and it spans more than my local area. I also found it very convenient that all I had to do was post it and forget about it. On Offerup and Facebook, I had to keep track of multiple conversations with people and deal with the annoyances of the lowballs and trade offers before I finally got some people that seemed to be committed to buying. And then there's the sketchiness factor as well. I have come across plenty of scam listings in my local area, as well as straight up sketchy buyers that gave me vibes that, you know, I feel like I might be getting robbed. Something that you don't really have to deal with when using marketplaces like Jawa. You know, they moderate everything listed there and have actual humans that will help you resolve any issues should there be any dispute, whether you're a buyer or a seller. I don't think you're going to get that kind of support if you get scammed or robbed using Facebook Marketplace, in person, or Offerup or Craigslist or any of those. At the end of the day, I'm not going to try to convince you that if I repeated this test 10 times or even 100 times, that this would be the result every time. There are so many factors that contribute to getting a sale, like what you're posting, the price, where it's posted, when it's posted, what's, you know, the competing listings that you're going against. What I am trying to convince you though is that having an additional marketplace to sell on, one where the buyers and sellers all share the same common interest of PCs and gaming, That's a good thing, and the more that it grows and succeeds, the better it is for all of us nerds. Similar to what we always say in the PC hardware space, like with Nvidia, AMD, and Intel, more options and competition means that we as consumers win at the end of the day. That's gonna wrap it up for this video though. Hope you all enjoyed and found this either entertaining or useful in one way or another. Let me know down in the comments below, have you ever used Jawa before, whether it be to buy or sell? Also let me know, have you had to deal with any of the annoyances that I mentioned throughout the video when selling in your local market? Anything resembling the messages that I got? Anything worse? I know one of my buddies actually got robbed when he was trying to sell a graphics card before.
And then one day a guy hit me up to meet him at his apartment to sell him one for $700. So I drive up to this guy's apartment and he walks out into the parking lot. I go, hey, are you Davius? He had a giant puffer jacket on, and so he pointed his pocket at me and then said, give me the box. It took me 2 seconds to realize what he meant and my stomach just sank. I still can't help but wonder if someone was actually willing to shoot me over what is now a $100 graphics card.
That's kind of scary, and I'm not trying to scare people away from using their local markets because obviously I still use mine as well. I'm just trying to keep people informed and on their toes so that that does not happen to them. It is a non-zero chance that this could happen. Having it happen to like a content creator friend of mine, as well as some viewers have told me about being robbed at gun or knife point, it just keeps me more paranoid and on my toes if anything. But yeah, I look forward to reading about all your experiences down in the comments below. I want to thank you all as always for watching and for continuing to support the channel. Huge shout out to the channel members for their above and beyond support. As always, be safe out there, and I'll see you all down in the comments as well as the next stream and or video. Bye.